Boom. What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Welcome to the hardest fragrance video that I have ever had to make. That's no exaggeration. This truly, out of the many years that I have spent collecting fragrances and even in the last couple years recording videos and publishing them here on YouTube that specifically cater to the fragrance community, I don't think I've ever had to make a video as difficult as this one. I've seen many creators, and I'm sure you have as well here in the community, make a list of the 5 to 10 fragrances that they would keep for life. I'm talking about if the ultimatum was given tomorrow, they couldn't keep any more fragrances in their collection, they had to dwindle it all the way down to just 5 or 10, what would be the ones that they actually stuck with for life? And I could have done 10, but I wanted to make it even harder, so I gave myself 5. And so without further ado, we're going to be talking about the ones that I decided to keep. We got 5 categories, and you'll see those throughout this video. We got a freshie, a cold weather fragrance, a special occasion, a date night, and a daily driver. That's the 5 main ones that I chose, and we'll explain those a little bit more as we go. But without further ado, let's jump in with the freshie. This was one of the hardest categories just right off the bat to dwindle it down to. But ultimately, we landed on Louis Vuitton's City of Stars. I can't lie to you, I did kind of bounce between City Rhythms San Diego, PDM Sedley was right up there in the conversation. I even could have put perhaps another one of the Louis Vuittons, perhaps an Imagination or a Meteor. But ultimately, when I think of a freshie, really for this is kind of my summertime scent. We're going to address the cold weather one in a minute, and we already have a daily driver that we'll get to at the very end. So this for me was like, what am I going to wear in the summer months? And just for the sake of my collection and my video, this is maybe the most controversial pick that you'll find in this entire list today. But City of Stars from Louis Vuitton was ultimately my pick. This is a lime, kind of lemon, blood orange sunscreen and suntan lotion. But if you've watched my videos for any time now, you know that this is honestly one of my favorite fragrances of all time. This is a love it or hate it fragrance. I've gotten a lot of compliments out of it, but also I've had other dudes that have smelled this and they would not even think about spraying this on themselves and wearing it. Like, it just is not for them. So this really depends on what your preference is. I think it's a love it or hate it, but ultimately, if I'm only keeping 5, and if this fragrance is going to get me through the summertime, I'm going to pick probably my favorite summertime fragrance as of right now, and that is Louis Vuitton City of Stars, which is why I chose it for our first category. And so there you go. And now let's get on with the cold weather scent. Once again, the cold weather was a very difficult decision. All these were difficult to some level, but I ultimately settled on Stronger With You Sandalwood. I'm not going to lie, City Rhythms Riviere, that was right up there, like a 1B. If I was to expand this list to 10, that likely would have made it. Azzaro Forever Wanted Elixir, Y, EDP Intense, and some of those other YSLs were in there as well. But ultimately, Stronger With You Sandalwood was what I selected. I've never been a hater of the Stronger With You line, but I really feel like recently some of their more mature and more sophisticated and I guess older smelling fragrances have really catered to my nose. The Stronger With You Parfum, little less sweet, little less youthful, still has that chestnut, vanilla, ambery warmth that you get with every Stronger With You fragrance. But I really like the Parfum that came out recently. But I remember smelling Stronger With You Sandalwood, and that absolutely just blew me away. This, honestly, just to my nose, if I was to smell it blindly, this is a $300 to $400 Middle Eastern exclusive fragrance that just has this almost like Prince luxury kind of feel to it. Now, obviously, it's still pretty expensive and hard to find just because of the discontinuation. They're no longer producing this in the U.S., at least actively, but I do believe this is still a very viable option. It gets the job done. It's going to really get you a lot of places in the cold weather. I think as long as you mind yourself with the sprays, I think it carries the versatility well. And I'm a fan of Strong With You Sandalwood. Seems to turn heads, very unique smelling fragrance. If you like the Stronger With You DNA, but with some saffron and with some sandalwood really added to it. So it's got a spicy, kind of woody edge. I think you would really like this one. To me, it's the most high quality smelling. It's the most unique out of the bunch. Takes just a totally unique and different twist on this DNA that everybody loves. And I think it'd be a great option, at least if I was selected with it for the cold weather months. I have to be honest with you in saying that the special occasion category was the easiest, and that is Creed Venice. I had my bottle with me, but I believe somebody in my family must have taken it before filming this video because we ended up with a decant. So didn't have the bottle on deck with me for this video, but you've seen full bottles of this fragrance at least a time or two here recently on the channel. But Creed Venice is just one of those fragrances. I know it's the most duped and cloned fragrance ever. I know everybody's trying to replicate it and create their own version for a fraction of the price. But to me, just the original Creed Venice will always have a special place in my heart. As soon as I started collecting fragrances, I knew that, hey, I might not have much of a collection yet, and I really don't even want to go out and buy a full bottle of this, but I'm going to get me the scent profile, at least in a decanted form, to where I can go out and I can wear it to special occasions, and that's exactly what I've done. When I think of Christmas, when I think of going out to nice dinners and important events with work and things like that with ministry, Creed Venice is immediately that smell that takes me back to those memories and those times in my life, just because this has always been my special occasion fragrance. And it's going to be for the remainder of my life, at least for the purpose of this video, dwindling the collection down to just 5. So to me, obviously, you guys know the DNA. Everybody loves it. Everybody knows it. You've smelled it by now. But I still just think the original, it carries a level of elegance. And the best way I could say it is this. When you wear this, you smell like $1,000,000. You smell like you just have a luxurious lifestyle, and you're a CEO, you're really high profile individual, whether that be in your social life or at work. You just smell like $1,000,000. So special occasion fragrance, you can wear this any occasion, any time of the year. But for special occasions, I can just reach for it, spray. People are going to love. And that's why it's the pick here for our third category. Coming in at the fourth category here, number 4, we got date night. And I chose Prada Black. I could have went a variety of ways, and I say that for every category. It's the honest truth. Ultimately, we all have 2 or 3 fragrances for every category that we could see ourselves sticking with. But for date nights, and at least for my general context of knowing my personal life and going on dates and everything, this is one of my girlfriend's favorite fragrances. And so for that logic and that reason, I got to stick with Prada Black. This is such a great, underrated fragrance, especially in the Prada line. It's got that vanilla, powdery, almost kind of rubbery aspect to it, but that's in the best way possible. It carries a mysterious kind of vibe, and it's addictive scent profile that just keeps you wanting to come back and keeps you wanting to smell it over and over and over again. This is one of my favorite fragrances in general, and it only makes this choice even easier considering my girlfriend's love for it as well. And so this would cover me in the winter and the fall, no doubt. And I think even in the spring and the summer, as if I mind myself with sprays and I'm mindful of the event and what I'm doing, I think this is going to work really well for date nights. It's got a good versatility to it. Like I said, carries a mysterious edge. People want to figure it out. People want to get more whiffs and try to learn more about this fragrance when they smell it. And I think it's a great choice for a date night. A lot of great picks, of course, even from the Prada line that could have went in this category. But honestly, Prada Black is one of those fragrances I just don't think many people talk about. It's starting to get underrated. It's starting to get underappreciated here in the community. And that's all the better for me because I'm going to just continue to wear it. Great date night option. Prada Black coming in for that category with number 4. Coming in with our last category, we have the daily driver. What am I going to wear every single day? What's my dumb reach fragrance? Whatever I'm doing that day, what can I spray on and people are going to love? PDM Sedley was the choice for that. I mentioned this one earlier with the summertime fresh fragrance, and really part of me wanted to throw Prada Sport in here. I know that's not the longest lasting fragrance, and really I only wear it on Fridays anyhow. So that pained me to cut it, but I'd already kind of made my bed selecting Prada Black for the date night. And so I just knew, looking back on my own life and what I do on a day-to-day basis, PDM Sedley, man, it's going to get the job done. This is always going to be a special fragrance to me. I had to keep it really for that reason too. First ever niche fragrance purchase means a lot to me. I have a lot of great memories wearing this fragrance. And if I'm only going to keep 5 fragrances, I want them to be high quality. I want them to be made by companies that I know that are using the best ingredients, the best materials, have all the great resources to put out there. And PDM is certainly one of those companies that comes to mind. And Sedley, to me, is still their best warm weather, even daily driver option. Greenlee solid, and I think even their recent release Castley is solid as well, but Castley ties a lot for me into bits of Sedley and even like imagination. So I just have to go with the most original, most creative fragrance from them in my opinion, and that is Sedley. You get that Diet or Sprite Zero kind of DNA, got a good bit of mint, good bit of lavender. It carries like a citrusy body wash kind of a scent, but it's also elegant. It's a little grown up, not as sweet and youthful as some of these other fresh fragrances can be. And that's really something I want to look for on my day-to-day life. What's going to get me around the house? What's going to get me when I'm running groceries? What am I going to wear to the office? PDM Sedley is just that fragrance that is the Swiss Army knife, and it will check all the boxes. I don't have to worry about what I'm doing. I don't even have to plan my day around wearing this fragrance. I can spray it on 10, 15 times in the morning. I don't normally spray that much, but I could go out, go about my day, and PDM Sedley would get me through, and it would have plenty of compliments and a lot of positive attention, as this fragrance always has for me. So that's my daily driver, and that's my list in general. As I've said, I can make this list. I can make this video again in another 6 months to a year, and I could have a completely different list of 5 fragrances. That's just the nature of it. Your list of your favorite 5 to 10 are always changing and rotating depending on what you're picking up and how your nose matures and even how you grow up in life and mature as well. So that's the beauty of it. I mean, I would have to see if my picks change down the road, but that's where we're at right now. First week of February, these are my 5 that I'd keep for life. But how about you drop yours down in the comments section below? What are your 5 fragrances? You can follow this same formula if you'd like as well, that you would keep for life. I'd love to hear those down in the comments section below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We got a devotional coming Sunday. Don't want to miss that. Stay tuned there. But until then, stay safe and God bless.